Once again, very good morning to all of you.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, bacha. Only 13 girls. Okay, join your hands for the prayer first. Dear God, this day I thank you for all the love and blessing you have given me, my
Good
loving
morning, ma'am.
family, my caring friends, and all the wonderful people I met in my life. Please bless, protect, and guide them in overcoming their challenges. Amen. God bless you all. So, bacha, yesterday, sorry, yesterday we studied all these about commercial banks and what kind of functions commercial banks provide. There was some queries also. That queries I will discuss at the end of session. So now let me familiar with you some terms which are concerned with these commercial banks. So let's start. Students are joining still now. Okay. So let's begin with the terms. These terms also gonna be discussed in the here are some terms. First, we have cash reserve ratio. Can you tell me? Is there anybody can tell me what this cash reserve ratio means? Anyone else? If anybody knows the answer, please raise your hand. What do you mean by cash reserve ratio? Basically, this cash reserve ratio means it is the minimum fraction of total deposit of customers which commercial banks have to hold. It is the minimum fraction of the total जो total deposit किया जाता है by the customers to the commercial bank. It has to hold a minimum fraction of that as reserves, either in the cash form or as a deposit with the central bank. Check this CRR means the cash reserve ratio as it is fixed by the government means this CRR, the cash reserve ratio, it is used by RBI either to drain excess liquidity or to realize funds needed for the growth of economy, and it depends time to time. If there gonna be increase in the cash reserve ratio, it means that bank have less funds. If cash reserve ratio increases, it means the bank have less funds available and money is sucked out of circulation. And if it is less, it means money is more floating or more in the circulation. Is it clear? CRR, this cash reserve ratio, it may be refers to a minimum amount of funds in cash. That amount is decided by RBI. So that minimum amount of fund in cash that commercial bank has to maintain with the Reserve Bank of India in the form of deposits. I told you, if an increase in this ratio, it eventually lead to the consideration that there is decrease in the money supply. If there is increase in the cash reserve ratio, means circulation में हमारा money जो है, that is in a less way, it is decreasing way. On the contrary, if there is fall in the CRR, in the cash reserve ratio, it will lead to increase in the money supply. The current CRR, I think it is around 4%. So when they're gonna be increase in the CRR, it simply means that there is less circulation or money supply in the market. When there is less or fall in the ratio of this CRR, it means money is more supply in the economy. Is it clear? समझ आया?
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक. No, there is repo rate. क्या होता है repo rate? Basically, a repo rate means repurchase rate. Repurchase rate means it is a rate at which RBI lends short-term money to the banks against some kind of security. Means when RBI lends short-term money to the banks, to such commercial banks, that is known as repo rate. On the rate where when this RBI lends money to the banks, that is known as repo rate. And when the repo rate increases, means the repo rate increases, borrowing from this RBI become more expensive. अगर repo rate ज्यादा increase हो रहा है, means borrowing ज्यादा हो रही है from RBI, it means ज्यादा महंगाई होगी. Means we can simply say that RBI want to make it more expensive for bank to borrow money. So it repo rate, it is the rate at which the RBI, the Reserve Bank of India, lends short-term money to the banks against some kind of security. समझ आया? रेपो रेट कौन सा होता है? Means when the RBI it lends money to the, when RBI lends short-term money to the banks against such kind of securities, that rate is known as repo rate. Is it clear? समझ आया? What is repo rate?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And what is reverse repo rate? It is opposite of this. Means when bank issued these when bank lends security to this money to this RBI, means this reverse repo rate is the vice versa of repo rate. Means this reverse repo rate is the rate at which bank parks their short securities to the RBI. So the bank uses this tool when they fail. When they fail to just to lend the money to the RBI, then they do it. So reverse repo rate is the vice versa of repo rate. Here the banks it parks their short-term access to the RBI. As such, when there is increase in the reverse repo rate, it means RBI is ready to borrow money from the banks at high rate of interest. And as a result, we can simply say that when banks would prefer to keep more and more surplus funds with the RBI, means in simple form, we can simply say that repo rate, it is the rate where RBI lends short-term money to the banks against securities, and reverse repo rate is the rate where bank parks their short-term access with the RBI. Is it clear? समझ आया?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है? Now we have the statutory liquid ratio. No, now what do you mean by statutory liquid ratio? Liquidity ratio. This statutory liquidity ratio means it refers to that minimum portion of deposit that the commercial banks are required to maintain. Means they have to maintain in the form of, we can say, in the form of liquid assets. ठीक है? Means it is that part or that portion of deposit which commercial banks are to maintain in the form of liquid assets. Now, which kind of liquid assets? It means that assets which are easily to be converted into cash. Now we have a good example is here, that is in the form of gold. That is in the form of shares. That is in the form of bonds. Thick means statutory liquidity ratio, it refers to that minimum portion where these commercial banks have to require to maintain the part of deposits in the form of liquid assets like gold or such kind of government approved securities like bonds and shares. Is it clear?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Okay. Tick. Now we have the legal reserve ratio. Now, what is legal reserve ratio? Basically, this legal reserve ratio is the combination of cash reserve ratio and statutory ratio. Take this legal reserve ratio is calculated or it is comprises of these both CRR and SLR. When we comprise these cash reserve ratio and statutory liquidity ratio, we get the legal reserve ratio. As we know, the aim of CRR, the aim of cash reserve ratio is immediate liquidity needs, and the objective of statutory liquidity ratio is twofold, means to provide profitability with liquidity. So this legal reserve ratio, this is, I think, not in your book or in your syllabus. I'm teaching you, this is extra one, but I'll explain that this is the combination of both cash reserve ratio and statutory liquidity ratio. This legal reserve ratio is the combination of both of these ratios. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, one more thing is here. I think I missed that term. Is one is their bank rate. Bank rate. What do you mean by bank rate? basically this bank rate, we can simply say it is a rate at which central bank provides loan to commercial banks, that is known as bank rate. Usually at present it is 6.75%. Means as such this instrument, this bank rate instrument is become a key hand of Reserve Bank of India to control the money supply in long term lending. Repo rate may be issued the short term, but bank rate, we provide these such kind of loan to the commercial banks, that is known as bank rate. And this instrument of this bank rate instrument, it is useful to control the money supply in the long term lending. At present it is 6.75% approximately. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes,
Take,
ma'am.
now we have all such these terms gonna be deal with the central bank, central banks and commercial banks, because all such these terms are used between these. Now, what do you mean by central bank? क्या होता है central bank? Anybody else?
I'm head of all the banks.
Yes, means center words means it is in the center, mean it is the controller of all the banks. A central banks here, here definitions are is its meaning is written here, that a central bank is a apex institute which operate, control, directs and regulates the monetary and banking structure of country. It is so called because it occupies the central or highest position in the monetary and banking structure of the country. In India, RBI is the central bank. Reserve Bank of India is the central bank of the country. Take even Hawtrey, author, he defines central bank. He said that lender of the last resort is essential function of central bank. Another author, Veera Smith, said that primary function of central banking is a banking system in which a central bank either complete or residuary monopoly in note issue. So simply in India, Reserve Bank of India is the central bank, as RBI commenced its business or its operations on 1st April 1935 during the British rule. When there was British rule in the India, it was started its operations. That one, that was on 1st April 1935. So this RBI was set up on the recommendations of Hilton Jung Commission. There was Hilton Jung Commission of 1926. It was recommended by him. As such, this RBI was nationalized on 1st January 1949. There was 21 members, Central Board of Directors. There was 21 members, where there is governor, 4 deputy governors, and 2 finance minister representatives, 10 government nominated directors, and 4 directors to represent local boards headquarters. Local board headquarters at Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, and New Delhi. ठीक So this RBI, there was its first governor of RBI was Osborne Smith, but when the India got independence, so Indian first governor was C.D. Deshmukh. Check. Now this central bank, it provides various functions. It provides us various functions. As such, its functions are also categorized into two main heads. Let's have that. Here. Now this central bank, it divides its functions into two main heads, that is monetary functions and non-monetary function. Monetary function means, monetary simply means deals with the money, and non-monetary means that is not deal with the directly with the money. So these central banks, it have two main heads. One is the monetary function and second is the non-monetary functions. Now let us discuss the monetary functions first. First point is bank of issue or currency functions, means RBI, the Central Bank of India, it has given a sole right of issue of currency notes except 1 rupee note. Except 1 rupee note. Rest all the currencies is issued by the RBI, issued by the Central Bank of India. So this function gets such importance that central bank has come to be known as bank of issue, because it issues the currencies. So the central bank keeps three considerations regarding issue notes. One is the uniformity, elasticity, and safety. As such, currency function are bank of issue. It also explained that this RBI always tries to keep money growth within a target. So the first monetary function of RBI or central bank is to issue currency. Next is that it acts as a banker, agent, and advisor to the government. Means its function is that it helps the government with short-term loans and advance in times of difficulty. Government borrows money from RBI to finance its budget deficits. If there's going to be budget deficit in the government budget, it may borrow funds from the RBI. So as a government agent, the central bank conducts sell and purchase of government securities. It also manages national debts and foreign debts also. So that is why it acts as a banker, agent, and advisor to the government. Next, we have custodian of cash reserve of commercial bank. Custodian of the cash reserve of commercial bank means all these commercial banks keep a part of their cash balance as deposit with the central bank, and central bank act as the custodian of these reserves. So it may be because of this function, central bank is called a bank of bankers, because commercial banks reserve a part of their deposit in the central bank. Are you getting me, guys? समझ आ रहा है?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, next we have lender of the last resort, means that this central bank, it lends to commercial banks whenever there is emergency causes. So this central bank RBI lends to the commercial bank in times of emergencies. So this central banks, it assumes responsibility of meeting directly or indirectly all such reasonable demands for funds, either by commercial banks in times of crisis, in times of difficulties. Last monetary function is that it controls of money supply and credit. So RBI, the Central Bank of India, it control inflationary and deflationary situations in the economics by taking control measures. So credit control measures are also as instrument of the monetary policy. So there are other measures we will study later, that there are quantitative credit control and qualitative credit control. As such, in the quantitative, there is bank rate policy, open market operations. We will study deeply later on in the next topic, because next topic is this is yours. So there is qualitative control is there, that is qualitative credit control by controlling the consumer's credit and by taking selective credit control. So next we have the non-monetary function of central bank. First, it is that its function is supervision of bank, means this RBI, this central bank, it supervises and monitors all the working of the commercial banks. It keeps eye on the functions of such commercial banks. That's where it's another monetary function is supervision of bank. Means RBI, it has given the power that it can supervise and monitor the working of commercial bank under Banking Regulation Act 1949. Next non-monetary function of RBI is that it performs promotional and development. Means promotion and development function means that it performs promotion and development function also, such as RBI setup NABARD is there. This NABARD too, it is promotional activities to promote the agriculture and rural development. It also set up the Exim Bank of India to promote the foreign trade. Means Export Import Bank is there, that promotes the foreign trade. Take, so these are comes under the non-monetary function of the RBI, our central bank. Next is data collection and publication. Means this RBI, the Central Bank of India, or the central bank, we can simply say, it collects data on various economic matters like on foreign trade, foreign investment, inflation, and so on. So it acts as a data collection and publication. Next and the last non-monetary function of the central bank is that it gives clearance to various proposals or various projects involving financial consideration. So it clears all such proposals from Indian firms to invest in the foreign country. So these are such functions of the central bank. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I- Is there any kind of doubt? Please let me know.
No, ma'am.
हाँ जी बच्चा,
No,
कुछ
ma'am.
पूछना है? Any query?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yesterday, I think Rudrakshi, you asked me a question about the Muthoot Finance. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Bacha, this Muthoot Finance, as we were talking about the commercial banks. So this Muthoot Finance, it doesn't provide the banking services. It is called as non-banking finance company. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
no doubt that it is registered with RBI, but it is treated as non-banking finance company. It provides loans, like it provides gold loans or other loans, but it is not treated as the commercial bank of India. ठीक
Okay, ma'am.
ठीक है. Even it's there are shares of this Muthoot Finance company. Its shares are listed in the Bombay Stock Exchange and the National Stock Exchange of the India, and it is registered under RBI as non-banking finance company. ठीक. ठीक. Anyone else?
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone else? Yes, Bacha. Anyone else want to ask something?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, there is a list in the question in the chat box. So Mridil, these questions I will discuss tomorrow. Okay?
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Okay. So shall I close today's class?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.